So hello guys, this is continuation video of Selenium web services using REST assured, right? And this is brief about me. I come from mechanical engineering background. I work as a senior software engineer and I am from Bihar. So this is my Facebook page. If you like my Facebook page, you'll get all the updates and the video which I make. And this is my core Java playlist YouTube channel list. So whatever video I make, I upload it here, right? So before to start, I will show you my playlist. So this is my playlist. Basically this is the URL which you can bookmark, and these are the video which I have made. So for web services rest assured, I made 6. Selenium hybrid framework, I have made 14, and similarly you will have core Java programming 5 remaining I have to make. And these are the Selenium videos. So inside Selenium videos you have Selenium interview questions, test ng interview questions, all that you will get inside that. And these are the Java videos, right? Now we will start with uh, web services framework. So I already spoke about the get services, like how get works. How get work and how get by id work. What was the framework, I have already explained in my previous videos. So if you look at this playlist, it has total 6 videos. So before watching this video, please watch this whole video 1 2 3 4 5 6, then only watch this, otherwise you lose a lot of concepts and you not understand. So today we will start with how post work in the web services, right? How post work into the web services. So basically the post is used to create the data to the server, right? Post is used to create the data to the server, and post requires two kind of argument. One is the endpoint URL, the server, endpoint URL, the URL which you are going to target, and the payload, the JSON payload, the payload which you are going to post to the server, right? So post requires basically two kind of argument, right? Now what I did is I made one data provider, add country, because here my aim is I need to add a country, right? So I just made a data provider, and as you guys knows that the data provider return type is a object. So I just made the 2D array of object, and I'm making 2 row 1 column, right? So I have the payload to create the country. So I have this payload to create the country. So what I will do, since I have already created country, so since I have already 5 created countries, now what I will do, I will try to create some other country, right? I will try to create some other country. So this payload we need to write into the string. Payload we need to write in the form of string. So what I will do is I will make one payload at index 0 row first column, right? And here one more thing we need to take into the considerations. To make this JSON as a string, we need to parse that. So there is one technique to parse that. You have to write this one backslash, and again inside you have to write one backslash, right? So this will get parsed. Again right here backslash, here write backslash, again starting you write backslash, here you write backslash, again starting you write backslash, ending you write backslash, right? So this string is ready. Now India we have already created, so we will create something called what we will create, we will create UK, right? And we will create one more, here it will be first row first column, second row first column, right? So I'm basically creating the payload of 2 country. Similarly in case of UK, here we can write China, right? Or we can write Nepal. So I am planning to create 2 countries, right? And here I will give id is equal to 5 and id is equal to 6, because till 4 we have already in the DB. which I have already shown to you. Again I will run that and I will show to you. So if I do control F11, right, when I'm doing control F11, I have this response, basically this response. So here, no, not this response. So if you look at here, right, here I have all the countries, like all the countries what we have already in the in the DB side, right? So here get all countries will return us all the countries present to the DB. So if I will run this, what I will get is I will get all the countries, right? I will get all the countries present to the DB, right? So what I will do here is I'll do one thing here. So sorry, response, yeah, so response dot yeah. Control F11. So if you look at, we have already 8 countries in the DB, which is nothing but this. So I'll take this F and control C. Guys, for this you watch previous video, because this I have already explained in my previous video. So you have country 1 India, then Bhutan, Nepal, China, right? So almost, you have 1 2 3 and 4 countries you have. So you have already China as Nepal, right? So since you have already China and Nepal in all the countries, and your last ID was 4 and 5. So if you look at your payload, which was the last ID, 4, right? So I can use 5 and 6. So I can use 5 and 6, right? And what I can do is, right, I can create some other country, and I have given 5,6. Now my data provider is ready. Now my data provider is ready with 2 records. Now I will use here. So to use that, as you guys know that what we need to do is we need to use data provider is equal to, and we need to we need to write this name, right? So this is done. After that, what I will do is I have to get the endpoint URL, right? So I can write a string URL is equal to, first I need to get the fixed URL, which I have already shown to you. So there is one class URL dot fixed URL, plus after the fixed URL we need to get the endpoint URL, right? So endpoint URL dot, so here what we are trying to do, we are trying to add the country, right? So add country, this is the one, dot get resource path. So this is my URL of the application, URL of this particular add to country, right? So now I got the URL, so I have the URL. Now what I will do, I will call web services dot post. This post requires URI and JSON, right? JSON. So here I can write a string JSON, I can write here, and this JSON I will supply it here. Okay, so this JSON I will supply it here, right? So what is this JSON basically? So this JSON is but nothing but it comes from the data provider. Like first row of data provider will match to this. Again the second row of data provider will match to this. Now what I will do is I will write here as a response, because when we post to the server we'll get a response. After that I will put one if conditions and I will check what response is coming. So I can write here response dot get status code is equal to 2 not 1, because I'm trying to create that. If this is the case, so what we need to do, we need to verify some data, like we need to verify the data, like what data is coming from the response. So I can do one thing, instead of writing column 1, actually we can write, 3 columns, and after writing 3 columns we can store some data. Same data we can verify actually. So we can just write here country name, you can write as UK, and here populations we can write as a 10,000, right? So I can write here first row, first column, second row, second column, right? So here what I am doing is first row, first column, right? Second row, second column, third row, third column, right? Similarly, what I can do is no, here I am doing something wrong. So here row will be always, first row, only column will change. Similarly, here I can do one more thing, I can construct my data provider, and this why I am doing, you will come to know when I will start executing the script, like why I am making this data provider. You will come to know. I can store the data into my data provider, and I can keep here some population. Now my data provider is ready, right? Now my data provider is ready. So again, second row, first column, second row, second column, second row, third column, right? This is ready. Take this data, control V. Now what I will do is, the moment I will get 201, I will print the response. SYSO control space bar. So I'll just print the response, because I need to convert this response into a POJO class, and I have explained already why we need to convert to the POJO class. The remaining test I will disable as of now, because I don't want remaining test now. I want to test post call, so I will disable my other test, right? Now what will happen, only this test will get called, this post test. So if I'll run this, let's see what happens. See, I'm getting a failure, right? I'm getting a failure saying that the data provider is trying to pass 3 parameter, but the method has takes only 1 parameter. Fine. So through data provider, it is saying that data provider trying to pass 3 parameter, but method has only 1 parameter. So I can write other things also. I can write a string country name int populations, right? And as of now, since okay, so now let's see if I'll run this, what happens. So it is getting pass, right? It is getting pass, and if I will do response dot as a string, let's see what we are seeing in the response. Okay, so we need to see what is happening in the response. So it is getting pass, I'm getting that verify add country, and verify add country is getting pass, and it is printing the data provider data. So this is the first column, second column, and this is the third column, right? So all 3 is coming, but problem what is happening is, what I am thinking, it is coming a status code as a 200. So I will debug that, and I will see debug as test ng, okay, and I will debug that. So see the here the response code. So what is the response code? $200, right? But I was given 201, so it is coming 200. Now if I will do control, if I will do rerun of this program, control F11, I can see that response coming here, right? So this is my response which I am printing here. So this is my response. Now I need to verify my response. To verify the response, what I have to do is I have to create the Pojo class of the response, which I have told already yesterday. I have given proper explanation. So there is one site, jasonlint.com. Go here, not this one actually. So we have a site called JSON schema to Pojo. Okay, so this site basically what it does is it converts your Pojo, it converts your JSON to a Pojo class. Select JSON and JSON, right? Click on preview. So this got created, this got generated. Now what I will do is I will copy this full data. I will copy this, control C. I will come to my project. Okay, I will go to the Pojo classes, and here I will just create one class called add country finish. I will just do control A, replace it. After replacing, what I need to do, I need to change some package. So just place mouse over here and change package to com.bhanu.pojo class. Yes, changes to this. Then come to the example, class name, change that. So recompile this, rename type to add country. So just do add country. This is done now. Once this is done, right, once this is done, now our hub job is ready. Now what we need to do, now we need to initialize the Pojo class and we need to verify the response. To do that, yesterday I told you there is one class called JSON builder. Basically, when the moment we create the instance of JSON builder, basically we get one method, JSON.form JSON. So the moment we'll get 200, and what we can do, we can do one more thing here. So what we can do is, since add country we have created, we can write here add country is equal to add. We are just creating the reference of that class. After that, JSON has one method called form JSON, right? JSON has one method called form JSON, right? Form JSON. So basically this takes the response dot as a string, and then it takes the instance of the Pojo class. It takes the instance of the Pojo class. So now I have initialized my Pojo class. So now my Pojo class has been initialized. I can store this data to this variable, right? Now I am storing this data to the variable. What I will do now is I will put some assertion here, right? So I will put some assertion here to make sure that whatever I am running is correct or not, and whatever data I am posting to the server is getting created or not. So to do that, I will just post some data here. So what I am doing, that is I am putting assertion comma expected and actual. So what is expected and what is actual, right? Expected, my country name should come like this. So I'll point to this country name, and from Pojo class, this Pojo class has getters and methods, so I can do get country name. This is one assertion. Similarly, I can put one more assertion for the population, right? So here I will take this data which is coming from data provider, and from the response I can get the populations, right? So what is Pojo class? Basically So Pojo class is nothing but your getters and setters, right? So this populations, what it is happening is, it is saying that this add equals, it is saying that object is ambiguous for the type asserts, right? Okay, maybe one is integer and I have to see what is the type of this population. So if I, so this is also an integer, right? This is also an integer and this is also integer, but since this integer is a primitive data type, but if you look at that get populations, this is an integer, this is a class type. So when we write full integer, this is a class type, right? This is no more data type. So to test that, what we have to do is, these populations we can convert this integer type into a class type, right? We can convert this data to a class type. So these populations I can copy here, I can paste it inside. Now this populations is getting converted into a class type, right? It is getting converted into object type. So basically full integer is nothing but your wrapper class, and integer primitive data type. So what was happening is, here the get populations was, if you look at that, the Pojo class which I have created, this get populations was of type integer, right? So it was not comparing, and that this int was primitive data type. Now I am changing this primitive to a class type, which means it is object type. Now this will work. Now what I will do is, I will just run this and let's see what happens. Control F11. So it is getting pass, right? It is getting pass. So assertion is working, everything is working, and it is getting pass. Now what I will do is, I will do one thing. So this assertions, this data, I am in the data provider, I am supplying the country name and population name, right? So what I can do here is, right, so what I am doing, that is, in my data provider I am writing one column saying that UK. So what I will do is, here I will write UK1 and I will run this script. So what happened, for the first record your script will fail, for second record it will pass. So if I run that, see, it got failed. If you look at the test.ng report, you can see that, see, for this record your comparison is failing, right? And for the second it is passing. So for this is failing. So if you look at this first record properly, this is your first argument, this is your second argument, and this is your third argument. So how it comes on the runtime, again this is still, here is a first argument, and Japan is the second, and this is the third argument, right? Now I think, hope this is clear, like how post works. So through post you can create the data on the server side, right? Now to show you in the better way, what I will do is, I will put debug point here itself, and yeah, and I will just debug that so that you guys will understand how this works. So if I'll place mouse over here, so this is my JSON, this is my payload which I'm going to post to the server, and this is my country name UK, that is nothing but your this UK, and third is population is 1000, that is nothing but this one, right? So if I'll press F8, so it will execute, and again, F8, it will come here. So again, if you'll place mouse over here, see, this is your payload, country name Japan and all that, right? And country name is a Japan and population is a 6000. So same thing will run, and same I'm trying to verify, right? So my country is getting added. Now you guys will be wondering, like, whether this country is getting added or not. To test that, what we can do is, we can do one thing. Since we have already one get call, right? Since we have already one get call called verify get countries, so we have one web services for that. What I will do is, I will enable this test, and I will write one annotations depends on method, and what I will do is, I will make sure that this test should run after creation of country, right? that test should run after creation of the country. So I will do depends on method, right? So what we'll do, the moment I will do depends on method, so first verify add country will get called and then this method will get called. So through this test we will come to know how many countries we have, because I have already shown you in the response earlier we had these 4 countries, right? We had India, Bhutan, Nepal, China. So total 4 countries. 2 I'm adding it. So what I will do is I will do control F11. So if I will run that, you can see that now this is your payload. So I'll copy from this console and I will paste it here. See, now a lot of countries is getting added. I think something I'm doing wrong, otherwise I should not get this much country. So 7, 8, 10, lot of countries getting added. Why this many countries is getting added, that is questions. Okay, so I will see that why this many countries are getting added. So depends on method verify add country. In verify add country I am just adding 2 countries. And this method basically it just try to get all the countries. So why I'm getting this many countries? Country Bhutan, 3 China, 5 UK, 6 Japan, UK 7. Okay, it's basically okay. So I got it. So what is happening is so somewhere actually I'm reprinting it. So I need to figure out what is happening basically. So here when I'm doing add countries, I'm adding 2 country. So my 2 countries getting added. Okay, here I was printing the response. I will not print the response. Now I will do control F11. So test got executed. Okay, I will copy all the country and I will keep to the array ID 18, 19. Oh, this many countries getting added. Okay, so this many countries getting added because I know, because we have added already 2-3 times. So this many countries are getting added. So what I will do is I'll do one thing. I will reset the data. To do that, what I have to do is since this code is created by me, so this code is not that great, so I need to reset the data. So I'll reset the data. I think if I'll do run on the server, data will get resetted. Yeah, now if I run this, I should not get more data, or still I am getting 2022. Okay, fine, this I will figure out like why this is happening. Okay, this I will try to figure out like why this is happening and why this many countries getting created, because the moment I am doing depends on method verify add country, and when I am trying to get all the countries, a lot of countries getting added. No problem, that I will see that again, and in next video I'll explain you, right? So this is how your post call works. I think hope you guys are clear with the post call. So how post call works, and this endpoint URL I have already explained you, like I have made the endpoint URL and the fix URL, which you guys already know. The fix URL which is nothing but the application's URL, right? So I think now you are familiar with post also, like how post works. So post, this method web services dot post, if you go inside, you have something called JSON. You have something called a string JSON, the payload which you are going to post to the server, and you have URI, right? So both will go to the server and server will give us the response. Now we are done with the post also. What I will do is I will upload this code to the Google Drive, and I will share the link so that you guys can do a practice. Thank you for watching this video. Please like my video, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Right now we are left with only delete and update. Thank you once again.